Hello, everybody. Our last lesson in this chapter is solving measurement problems. Now, this is going to require you problem-solving skills, which I know you all have. I'm going to take you through a few examples of different strategies that they recommend, and then we'll go through a few more examples just to practice it a bit, and then hopefully between what the book has to say and what I have to say, you'll be able to figure out the few practice problems that I've given you. So let's take a look over example number 1 here. Lauren lives 0.2 kilometers from Alex. Alex lives 3 times as far from Colin's house than Lauren's house. How far away does Alex live? So ultimately what you're trying to find is 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. Okay, 3 times 2/10. One of the strategies that they recommend using is creating a number line so that you can just count. If he's at 0, okay, so right here, if he's at 0, there's 1.2, there are 2 of them, and there are 3 of them. So 2, 4, 6/10. 3 times 2/10 is 6/10. So the first strategy they recommend is simply drawing a number line and using that to help with your skip counting. And then one of the ways they recommend checking it is turning 2/10 into a fraction. 3 times 2/10. So 3 times 2 times 1/10. Wow, they separated that different. But whatever strategy works, because that would be 6. And then 6 times 1/10 would be 6/10. You could have also just thought about it like I taught it. 3 times 2 is 6, so that would be 6/10. Another thing you're going to have to watch out for is if you have to convert the units. So in that first example, they were both the same units. In this example, we're talking milliliters and liters. Let's read the problem. Javier poured 500 milliliters of lemon juice and 2 liters of water into a pitcher to make lemonade. How many milliliters of juice, how many milliliters of lemon juice and water did he pour into the pitcher in all? Okay, so he's making lemonade. He puts in some lemon juice, he puts in some water. Hopefully he put in some sugar too, otherwise that's not going to taste very good. But he put in some lemon juice and he put in some water, and they want to know how much it is total. But we started with milliliters and liters. And I can't add cats and dogs. If I've got 2 cats and 2 dogs, then I've got 2 cats and 2 dogs. Okay, so I need to make sure those are both the same units before I add them together. And our answer is asking for milliliters, which means we're going to want to take the liters here and convert them into milliliters. Remember, milli means 1,000. There are 1,000 milliliters per liter. So 2 liters then would be 2,000 milliliters. And then we're going to add those together to get the 2,500 milliliters. Okay, so we're going to be using one of these 2 strategies as we work through some of these measurement problems, just to practice the idea of problem solving and reasoning through what we have and what we've got. So we're either going to want to draw a number line, or we can just in our heads multiply, or repeated addition as well, I guess. Or you're going to have to realize that there needs to be a unit conversion. So here's a couple more practice problems we can look through. Evelyn is in a relay race with 3 other runners. Each runner runs 1/10 of a kilometer. What is the total distance run by all 4 runners? Okay, so we've got 4 runners. Each one runs 1/10. So I could draw the number line here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could just add 1, 2, 3, 4. In actuality, what we're doing here is 4 multiply 0.1. Now this one is super easy because you're multiplying by 1. I mean, yeah, it's 1/10, but you're still doing 4 multiply 1 gives you 4/10. Okay, so there's 3 different ways we could have figured out the same problem. We could list them out and count. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4/10. We could draw the number line and jump it along. Or we can just multiply. 4 times 1/10 is 4/10. Let's look at the next one. A bag of potatoes has a mass of 4 kilograms. Some potatoes are taken out. The mass is now 2,305 grams. What is the mass of the potatoes in grams that were taken out of the bag? Okay, so we know that the bag is 4 kilograms, and we know that there's 2,305 left. So we need to be thinking about our fact families here. I'm going to draw me a little box on top of the cheetah that I can do some math in. Okay, thinking about our fact families. So first off, I need to know kilo. Kilo meant what? Okay, milli was the 1/1000th, so but that we still know that there's 1,000 per liter. This is the same conversion. There are 1,000 grams per kilogram. So 4 kilograms times the 1,000. Hopefully you've already figured it out before I've even finished writing, because I'm kind of slow with this mouse. 4 times 1 is 4. So 4 times 1,000 is 4,000. Okay. Now think about your fact families. If my total, if my total, can you even read that, is 4,000. Just bear with me here, okay? I don't know that that helped at all. If my total is 4,000, and on one side, over here we'll say, I have 2,305. Okay, we can think, now I know that something, that's what we're trying to figure out here, maybe we'll call that X, that's our unknown. Something we're trying to figure out, plus 2,305 is going to equal 4,000. And I know if whatever that is plus that is going to equal that, then I also know that this 4,000 subtract the 2,305 will equal whatever that is. So that's the math we then need to do. So we're wanting to do 4,000 subtract 2,305. Now, obviously I can't do 0 subtract 5, so we're just going to borrow from that. That would have become a 3, that would become a 9, that would become a 9. So I can make that a 10. 10 subtract 5 is 5. 9 subtract 0 is 9. 9 subtract 3 is 6. And 3 subtract 2 is 1. So we know that they took out 1,695 grams of potatoes. I've got another page here of practice problems. If you're feeling comfortable with these ideas, you can go ahead and move on to the assignment. I've only got about 5 minutes of video left here, so we'll see how many more examples I can get through before we run out of time. So, if you would like to move on to the practice, go ahead. If you'd like to keep watching, let's get at it. A ribbon is 1 meter long. Kira cut a piece of the ribbon. The piece she cut is 4/10 of a meter long. how long is the other piece? So if her meter was 1, then we're going to take that 4/10 off of the 1. So we're doing 1.0 subtract 0.4. Okay. We're going to take those 4/10 off, and you can see through the number line here that it's 6/10. Basically what you're looking at is 10 subtract 4. We just need to bring our decimal point straight down. 10 subtract 4 is 6/10. Or we could have counted backwards if we started at 1, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 6/10. So our answer there would be 6/10 of a meter. Again, we have any of those strategies. I could count back, I can draw the number line, or I could do the math. There are 2 books. Each has a mass of 4/10 kilogram. What is the total mass of the 2 books? So they've again drawn for us the number line. If each one is 4/10, well, there's 4/10, 8/10. I'm skip counting by 4s. 4, 8. Okay. Or I'm doing 4/10 plus 4/10, which gives me 8/10. So the total mass of our book is 8/10. We could draw the number line, or we could do the math. Either of those methods is going to find us the same. When we come down here, it tells us to draw a number line if needed. So this is where we would actually practice drawing the number line if that's the route we wanted to go. I was hoping I would have time to get to these 2 examples as well, because both of these ones require a conversion. 47 millimeters long. One insect is 47 millimeters. Another insect is 3 centimeters. What is the total length in millimeters of the insect? Now, if you don't remember these conversions, please refer back to that conversion sheet that I gave you. Okay, it's on the part of my web page with the previous lesson. But it tells you on there that there are 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. So 3 centimeters then. So 3 centimeters, if 1 is 10, 3 is 10, 20, 30. 3 is 30. So the first thing we have to do here is make that conversion. What is the total length in millimeters of the insect? So I've now got 30 and 47. 0 plus 7 is 7. 3 plus 4 is 7. So my total length is 77 millimeters. I've got about 1.5 minutes to wrap this up, so I'm just going to quick go through this one, try to keep up. A table has a mass of 7 kilograms. We're converting that to grams because the chair's mass is 4,048. So 7 kilo, remember kilo means 1,000, is 7,000 grams. 4,048 grams. And it says what is the total mass of those? That's going to be 84011, because the total mass tells us that we want to know what those are all together. Just going to zoom out on this as we kind of wrap things up and review here. There's lots of different methods to do these things that you know. Okay? If everything is already in the same units, we know that it's 4/10 of a meter long, and we want to know how much, whatever. Okay, if it's already the same units, then we simply need to do our math. We can draw the number line and skip down the number line, or we can do the math to figure those out. If they're not the same units, millimeters and centimeters, or grams and kilograms, you need to make sure you convert. As you're doing the practice problems on this, if you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, good luck.